Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. You know what? You look a little hungry. I got some pizza in my pocket. It's getting a little warm, but you can have it. There you go. Here's a box. You need a to-go box? I got you. And I'm gonna paint it today. What up? Boop. Those are the little tools. So this little kit, I got this off of Amazon. It's just a 60 color polymer clay, non-toxic, easy to bake, complete with accessories and tools. I think I'm gonna try to make a burger. Let's do it. So, I was gonna talk in that video, but then my microphone died that was connected to my phone, so I have to talk over it. um, I can't remember exactly what I started off talking about, but I remember I was gonna talk about this horrible experience I had working at a Sonic when I was 16 years old, and it is my orange crush experience. I truly wonder if any of you guys have heard of that phrase, like orange crush, or heard of the event or been to it. Because I had never heard of it before until this moment in my life. So I was, again, 16 years old. The place, as I drop my microphone, the place that I was working at was right before Tybee Island. So there's Wilmington Island, then there's Tybee Island, and you would drive onto that island to get to Tybee Island, right? So I worked at the Sonic. I was a car hopper. There were two people cooking in the kitchen, one guy inside the building, like running the drive through and being like the manager, right? And then there was me and my other coworker, who she was another car hopper as well. Neither of us were wearing skates that day. I guess we just decided we didn't want to wear them. Whatever. So it was super slow this day. And I think she asked the manager, she was like, "Hey, I've like nothing's going on. Is it okay if I leave early?" And it was like 30 minutes early. It wasn't anything crazy. He was like, "Yeah, that's fine." She was like, "Okay, cool." So she left. Nothing crazy happens. About 10 minutes go by, but 15 minutes go by, 20 minutes go by, and then cars start pulling up. And when I mean cars, I don't mean like, okay, 5, 7 cars, maybe 10 cars at a time. We're getting a dinner rush and I'm do 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 do. It's filling up, the drive-thru's filling up. No, I mean every single slot, and there were like 30, maybe 35 of them were filled up. Bam, 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 one by one, they filled up. And I'm starting to freak out at this point because I have this little headset on, and it was to hear the little button every time you press it when you're there. It goes bing and it tells me like number 4 or some shit, or number 5, whatever. And so I would hear the ding, 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 and I had to take my headset off because it just wouldn't stop. So I was just going down the line trying to get to people, and I didn't know how to work something like this. These were all groups of people from Orange Crush that came in like herds. They hit every single fast food place in that little like section, and I can't remember what else was there. It wasn't that much though. So of course, you know, it's we're going to get filled up. And oh my god. So I remember walking and like being like, "I'm so sorry," and people being like, "Yo, where's my food?" and screaming at me. Then it started getting to where they were like, "Fuck you, bitch. Where's my fucking food, you little white bitch?" and shit like that. And I was 16. I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" You know what I mean? And so this shit lasted for like hours. It was hours of people screaming at me, throwing money at me. They were throwing their dollars and coins and all that shit at me. And then they would order their food, throw money at me, and then it would take too long because there's two people in the kitchen and there's like 50 orders coming through at the same time. And they would like demand their money back. So I would, as a kid, I was stressed the fuck out. I just scooped up money off the fucking floor that they had thrown at me and handed it back to them. I threw it back in their fucking car, and they would skirt off, like drive off, like they like fucking robbed the place. You know what I mean? And I don't know why the fuck I didn't just leave. I genuinely don't know why I didn't just walk away. Like, I had no obligation to stay, and truly, like, I didn't need that job, you know? Like, I was forced to get that job, actually. I didn't need a job. I was in school, track, extra school activities, like all that shit. My mom was like, you have to get a job. So that was the result. And yeah, great experience in food service, you know? So that's one of the reasons why I talk about food service so much too. Not only because I work in it, but because it truly has been some of the biggest fucking events in my life where I was just like, oh, I'm unsafe right now. Like, this is actually dangerous. And it's kind of wild. So by the end of the night, right? These I remember these two boys. I think I blacked out because I don't remember the rest of the night. But these two boys walked up and ordered like milkshakes from the walk up one, and I walked out, handed them, and I was shaking and crying. And they were like, "Oh, dude, are you okay?" And I was like, "No, here's your milkshakes." And I like handed them to them, and they're like, "Oh, okay." And they walked away and ate their milkshakes. They drank their milkshakes and went on about their way. And I was cleaning up the parking lot. I found a pair of brass knuckles, a 9mm magazine, and then a couple bullet shells, things like that. It didn't seem like anyone shot it there, but it seemed like they fell out of the cars and shit like that. And yeah, fun experience knowing they had brass knuckles on them and shit like that. And I was like, cool, cool. My coworker at the time, he was like, "Ooh, I call dibs." And he grabbed the I didn't know that they were like illegal to own. So I was like, I'm not holding it. You know what I mean? I don't want it. I just found them in the parking lot. I was gonna throw them away. I was like, I don't want that shit. And yeah, at the end of the night, the little machine, because of all of the orders that were rung up and everyone was too impatient and they would leave, I didn't have a chance to go through, ask them what their order was, and delete it. So it said that I owed over like $600. And I was 16. I didn't have that much money. I was like, what the fuck? And I started crying. I was freaking out. And my manager was like, nope, you know what? We're not going to talk about this. And he deleted all of it. And I can't thank him any more than I did to this day. I was just like, "Oh my god, thank you so much. Like, you don't know what this means to me. I couldn't have afforded that." He was like, "It's no problem, dude." He was like, "You're not going to owe money to Sonic." He was like, "I'll make sure of that at least." So, crazy experience. Yeah. So, this next story isn't too crazy like that one, but it is just kind of flabbergasting, you know what I mean? Um so I was serving this table, right? It was an older lady and her granddaughter, I assume anyway. She was her granddaughter's age. So this lady orders a drink. I go up to the bar. He was really busy, and I ordered the drink and waited. She brought me back over to the table, like waved her hand and was like, are you getting my drink?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am. He's making it now, or he should be. He's just really backed up at the bar." And she kind of rolled her eyes at me and was like, "Whatever." I was like, "Okay." So I got sat with a 10 top after this, and thankfully they were very, very sweet. But I remember they ended up at the end of the night paying each of their bills separately with $100. Like each of them had $100 bill. So in the corner, I'm not very good at math, and I'm sitting there like, all right, one is 20, 50, and like trying to do the math by myself, like with 10 separate orders, and I'm freaking out, and I'm stressed. And this lady, I had walked over to her. So that's at the end of the night. Let me get to that. So I walked back up to her, and she didn't like the drink, so she wanted a new alcoholic drink, but she wanted to keep that one at her table. And I was like, I'm not gonna argue with this lady, whatever. So I went and got her another drink. I sat at the table, even though we're not supposed to serve two drinks to somebody at the same time, because she could have been serving it to her younger daughter or younger granddaughter. But I digress. She was one of those people that when she came in, everyone told me, oof, she's a scammer. Look out. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? So after a while, she started complaining, and she went, "I want to talk to the manager." And I was like, oh, okay. Like, mind you, nothing at this point. Like, maybe I was a little backed up, but I was walking over and like making sure she was okay. I just put her order in. Like, it was very strange. So, whatever. I went and grabbed the manager and I told him the situation. I was like, "I don't really know what's going on, but she wants to talk to you." And he was like, "Okay." And this guy, he was one of those people that he's a kiss ass, and he'll kiss the customer's ass before he stands up for any of his employees. And so we went over there, and I saw him like nodding his head in agreement and all that stuff. And then I saw him comp her food. He was like, all she has to pay for is her alcoholic drinks. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? He's like, yep, I'm not dealing with it. And I was like, so I have to deal with it. And he just shrugged and walked away. Great. So that happened, and the 10 top, this is at the point the 10 top gives me their $100 bills for their separate orders. And I'm like, oh fuck. So I'm trying to get all those things done. I'm trying to count all those. Somebody else sat me, and I'm stressed out at this point in my life too. So it was like reflecting very much in my serving. And somebody else sat me, and I'm putting in their order. And this old lady walked up to me, crumpled up a $5 bill, or maybe it was $1, I can't remember, put it in my hand and went, "You're not a very good server." And I was just like, jaw dropped. Are you fucking kidding me? You think I want to be a server, you stupid bitch? You know, like, I hate to be so crass like that, but she treated me like shit the entire time, and then had the audacity to tell me that I was a bad server. Why? Because you were fucking stupid and didn't know what you wanted. You know what I mean? Like, it was just so weird. Their food came out on time. It was so strange to me. And I was like, what? Is it because I didn't tell you you could get 2 drinks at the same time? Because that's what I said initially when she asked for it. I was like, sorry, ma'am. I'm not allowed, like, legally to serve one person 2 alcoholic drinks. I have to give you one. You can finish that, and then I can give you another one. And that's when she took a sip of the first one and was like, I don't like it. It's not good. I want another one, but I'm going to keep this one here. I was like, okay. And those are the kind of people that really like put you down in service, and that's one of the reasons why I talk about it. You know, I was having a really shit day that day, and yes, maybe I wasn't a good server in that moment or even at that time, but it is just so wild to me to go up to somebody and disrespect them because you didn't have the best service at a sports bar. Like, that's where I was working. It wasn't a fancy restaurant. It wasn't like Olive Garden. I say that like it's fancy. It is, you know, for the town that I live in. But it wasn't anything fancy like that. I didn't have to slow down and take my time. Hi, how are you? Do you want something to drink today? My name's Nat. I'll be taking care of you. Okay, cool. Da 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 da. Get your drinks. Like, that's it. That's all I did. And it's like, it just baffled me. I was like, that's one of the things too, is in that area they just weren't fun people to serve. And I just couldn't do it anymore. I was like, this is wearing me down. I gotta go. So got out of that shit. But yeah, that's just another crazy experience with like someone just treating you like shit just because you were having an off day, or because they felt like, oh, that's what she said too. She said, I felt like you neglected me today. And I was like, neglected you? Like, you're my child? I was like, what the fuck? Anyway, I think I'm done with this, so I'm gonna show you guys the burger. And that was me yapping about food service. Womp 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 womp. Womp womp. Okay. Hopefully you can't see the cat hair like floating in the air. But look, I think it's done. Cause here are the buns. Here's the meat patty. Here's the cheese. I think I like the cheese the most because it's got the swirlies. And then here are the little onions. We got some shitty little onions. And then we got some ketchup and mustard and tomato and some lettuce. Look, my nail prints in it. Okay, how do I... So should I put down the lettuce first? Should be like that. And then let's do the meat. Let's do that. Let's do cheese. That way that cheese will melt on there, you know? This isn't real. This is all fake. And the onions. And I think I'm gonna put the bun on this way. Look at that. Hell yeah. That is the saddest little smash burger I've ever seen. Yeah, looks like that Krabby Patty. What up? Oh shit, okay. So, if you made it to the end of this video, I don't know what my hand is doing. Thank you for watching. It was really fun. I'm just having fun making polymer clay stuff because I've never worked with it before. And that is my second time making food. I made the pizza and I made this little burger. So, here's Sam. I'm not a very good artist when it comes to like posting and being organized. A lot of the times I really don't plan paintings or drawing. It is more so just whatever I'm feeling in that moment and see if it sticks and if I feel passionate about it in that moment. And I think I want to keep making like food, and then I also want to make like the box slash, you know, container that it goes into. I just think it'll be fun and I can collect them for myself and have tiny mini food, you know. But, you know, all that mini stuff is really popular right now with the whole mini worlds thing where you pop open the little ball and you get your little mini stuff, and it's just fun. It's fun to make and it uses less product, so it's not like I have to hash out a bunch of money to get a bunch of clay to make a sculpture. I'm just making little tiny things. It turned out cute, so I'm excited. So if you like this video, again, just give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more art stuff. And if you like talk videos, subscribe for that too. Because sometimes I don't feel like making anything artsy and I just feel like talking. So yeah, that's it. Peace out, y'all, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.